26, yeah. Oh, but you know what? She did send me an email about something to go listen today. We're not meeting, but she sent me an email, so she's okay, yeah. Was it last week or the election one?
She said she was coming, but okay, she is coming. She's got some busy schedule. I don't know how she keeps up with it. I know she does. I told her, oh my gosh. She might come in. Yes.
sunny Sunday in a row. So thank you all for being here this afternoon. Thank you virtual watchers for being here. We appreciate you so much. And we're glad to have all of you here today. All of your smiling faces. Let's do that. Let's have a big smile. Thank you. Okay. Let's start our service with our meditation. So I invite you to close your eyes and begin to just relax now as you let your shoulders drop. Put your feet flat on the floor. And find that comfortable spot in your chair. And let's take 2 deep breaths together. And on the exhale, let's just release all the tension that is harbored anywhere in our body. So let's inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. And now let's bring our full attention to that one loving presence that is God, called by many, many different names. And let us also remember in this moment who we are. We know that neither birth nor death can change the sacred, eternal nature of who we truly are. So we bring our attention to love, to our heart space. And you might want to put your hand right on your heart. In this time of so much collective focus on earthly conditions, past and present, let us in these few moments together fill our hearts with the divine power of love and join together to stretch our awareness beyond ego and beyond what is known, to allow new ideas and new solutions. Together we set the intention that this higher level, this higher dimension of consciousness is not only sustained by us, it grows. With every loving thought and every loving act in the universe. And as beings of light, we hold the space. We hold the space of love and peace for this planet. And we take love-inspired action at every opportunity. And together we say, and so it is. Thank you so much. We are going to sing a fellowship song right now. And I would like you to turn to page 6. And when you get there, stand up and we'll sing together Loving Service.
We offer
So let's, sorry, more exercise. Let's stand up and give everyone a beautiful namaste. You're starting to see big smiles when you do that, so that's some progress. Wonderful. So we have some very special music today, as always. And I want to introduce our vocalist and accompanist, Winna Lee Z and Corey Williams. And I'm sure they'll introduce their songs, but I know they're Gary Lynn Floyd songs, and some of you remember that he has been with us a couple times actually at our services and blessed us with his wonderful music and beautiful voice. So I appreciate you selecting these. So let's give Winna Lee and Corey a big welcome.
Yes, Gary Lynn Floyd, that's where I was aware of his music, was here at the fellowship. Oh my gosh, I love his music. So it's Corey. The first selection, both are by Gary Lynn Floyd, The Adventure. Anybody been on an adventure lately?
You can never really know which way it's gonna go. Set your feet down on the road, facing the unknown. Staring through an open door, like you never left the shore. And on through, there's so much more to find. All you ever need to bring, open mind, a willing heart, a song that you were born to sing. Be a candle in the dark, one step is all it takes to start. Be the adventure you are. You are, you are, you are the adventure. You can carry all the weight of your past mistakes. That's the heavy load to bear, just that which you can't take. Standing on the precipice, know there must be more than this. Leading to all that is divine. All you ever need to bring, open mind, willing heart, a song that you were born to sing. Be a candle in the dark, one step is all it takes to start. To be the adventure you are. You are, you are, you are. were born to sing. Be a candle in the dark. One step is all it takes to start. To be the adventure you are. You are.
Just beautiful. And a perfect song for these times, I think. So we'll take a moment now to pause and just remember the blessings and abundance in our lives and fill our hearts with gratitude for all of the beautiful people that make up the fellowship community and all of their generous donations that keep us going and have kept us going in such challenging times. So take this moment and just fill that heart with deep, deep gratitude. And as Julie passes around the basket, whether you're preparing your gift right now or donate online or however you do it, let's bring our gifts to mind and heart. Envision a thriving and flourishing fellowship community. Thanks, Julie. Now I invite you to read with me the blessing of our tithes and offerings. And we say this every week, so let's really bring our minds to it, to the words that we're saying.
Oh, hear my prayer, O God of all the nations. Myself I give, even thy will be done.
So beautiful. Thank you so much. Now I am pleased to introduce our speaker today. We know it'll be interesting and energetic. So let us give a warm welcome to Reverend John Taylor.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Marilyn, and everyone for showing up today. I really appreciate you guys being here. The talk that I'm going to give today is titled Earth, Mother to Us All. And I always like to open up with, what's the inspiration for the talk? Well, recently, my family and I got back from Alaska. Has anyone here ever been to Alaska? Okay. It's just jaw-droppingly beautiful. But here's the thing about Alaska. I've never been to Hawaii, okay, so I don't have any. It's not beautiful like Hawaii is. It's rugged, it's raw, it's just primal earth energy. Like you just, I mean, that was a really on-point song because there's all the world and all these nations and there's different vibes from all places that you go. And one of the vibes that I got from Alaska was it's just big. It's just huge. I know that sounds like simple, but it's for real. It's just huge. There are sleeping giants of mountains everywhere. There's just water as far as the eye can see. And then these forests that are enormous. And they look like they've never been logged, they've never been touched by humans, and they're everywhere. So for me, what that made me feel was like I was in the presence of a Earth Mother, quite literally. Like this is a teacher, this is a protector, this is a high vibration healer. And the thing that really connected with me is I think that we are in a period right now where it's going to sound a little weird, but I think that we are co-creating with the earth. A lot of people talk about a higher power, and that implies something up there. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know. I got a different transmission, one of a lower power, one that's coming from the grassroots, from literally the ground up. And it's talking with our kids, and it's asking us to do things differently. It's asking us to set aside some ideas and some ways of doing things that we've just done. And I would put out there that they're not really in anyone's highest or best efforts. It's time for those systems to change and fall away. And I think that kind of vibration, that kind of recognizing that the old status quo isn't working, that's been happening for a long, long time. I mean, you can go back hundreds of years, and there are people that are asking better questions about how we can all get together and live together. But I would say that personally, I mean, I can't speak to hundreds of years, but what I would say is personally in the last 10 years, since about 2012, there's just been a lot more happening on that front. People that are waking up, they're waking up faster. People that are trying to wake up, they're trying to wake up a little faster. And, if you're open to those divine downloads, if you're open to those healings from wherever you can get them, I think your life becomes a little more spiritual and a lot more peaceful. And, who amongst us really, at the end of the day, isn't looking for some extra peace? So I think there's a continual evolution of consciousness happening. And I use the word evolution very deliberately because what's going on here is for things to change, they usually change from what has existed into what can be. Just looking at my own life, very rarely is there just a brand new thing. But it's not so hard to take something and just make it a little bit better, and then a little bit better, and a little bit better. And I think that's what's happening with the world right now. I think we are co-creating with planet Earth. And one of the feelings that I got while I was there in Alaska was some of us who are more attuned to this are feeling concerned about planet Earth. We're like, man, I really hope we don't just blow it. Like literally, metaphorically, physically. I hope we don't just destroy this thing. But I got the feeling that she's worried about us. And when you see a place like Alaska, talk about the hubris of human beings. It's like, you can't destroy me. Who do you think you are? At the very best, you'll do a standing 8 count. I'll just need to sit here and recharge for a while, but I'm more worried about you. It's like having a teenage kid that stays out till 4 in the morning. You're like, dude, you're going to destroy yourself. You need to Anyway, right? So there's some things that I always associate with that feminine earth energy. Strength, patience, understanding, ease of transition, and for the most part, just high vibration healing. I mean, we all came from a woman. We all owe so much to Earth's women. We also owe so much to Mother Earth. I think. You owe so much to Mother Earth whether you are conscious of it or not. And that's some big shoulders right there. If you can quite literally have so much love for your kids that are living in and on your surface, that even if they're treating you like crap, and you still have that place in your heart for them, and you're still leaving the light on at night for them, I'm getting a little misty. It's a big movement of green, heartfelt energy. And that's, is it any wonder that most of the energy that we see from planet Earth is green? I mean, it's just, it goes deep. I felt like, I'm going to tell a story here in a minute, but I have a dog. And when you have a dog, you just spend a lot more time outside. That's just the way it is. You spend a lot of time outside, you spend a lot of time, lingering outside. You're not, most of the time human people, when they go outside with a purpose. I got a garden, I got to rake leaves, I got to walk from my car to the office or shovel my driveway. Dogs just go outside. Period. They're just out there. When you have a dog, you're outside a lot. And I have a dog that's 3 years old, which quite literally means I have been outdoors every single day for the past 3 years, whether I liked it or not. It's kind of a staggering little thing to think about. It's just how a habit is made. And when I sort of received this divine download, this earth energy, just last week, quite literally on Thursday, I'm in a 12-step program. I have a sponsor, and we have a little saying that we throw around, which is, you don't prepare for the future, you are prepared for the future. When things happen, and it's meant to happen, you will be ready. You don't have and I believe doubly in spiritual matters. You cannot miss the boat. When the ship comes in, you'll be there. And so, story time. And so, we were visiting a city called Juneau, beautiful city, right on the water. Words don't do it justice. You got blue waters as far as you can see, rainforest over here, mountains over here. And we ran into a local couple, and they took us hiking on this hiking trail that really a lot of tourists, I don't think, would have the means to get to or the ability to find. And this hiking trail left me breathless with its natural beauty because there's just moss growing on everything. This is an old reference. Has anyone here seen Fern Gully? Does anyone know what that is? It was a Disney movie about a rainforest that is unspoiled by humans. And yada yada, they show up, they want to log. But anyway, that's what it was like. It was like Avatar. I mean, it's just beautiful, pristine nature. And while I was there, I got a really big message. And the message was, Earth energy resides in our first 3 chakras. Do people know what I'm talking about when I use the word chakra? I want to make sure everyone's along for the trip on this. Okay, I'll just clarify. In yoga and a lot of spiritual practices, there are energy centers in the body, and they are considered centers of intelligence. The first 3 chakras reside in your lower body, and they have a lot to do with survival, emotion, creation, getting things done, and, you know, healing, sort of the more physical aspects of the world. Like just getting out there, putting boots on the ground, and getting things done. And what's really nice is, I believe, we talked a little bit about the higher energies that are happening and how, I mean, places like the Fellowship, I don't think they would have existed not that long ago. I mean, a group of spiritual, like-minded people coming together that are just spiritual in nature. Because there used to be very narrow interpretations of how you could be spiritual, and I personally think that's getting wider. That road is getting wider. And that's a product of your upper chakras, being connected to a higher power, going up. Lower chakras, we kind of left them behind. Sometimes in some yoga and New Agey circles, they're kind of seen as like beneath us. And I would argue that a reason that a lot of these infrastructural things that are killing us and killing the planet haven't evolved to coincide. Like, we look at them with our intellect and our heart and our spiritual mind and say, no, that's not right. We shouldn't be logging these places. We shouldn't be killing each other over petty things. The reason we're still doing that is because of those first 3 chakras have been left behind. And Mother Earth wants to help us with that. Like, not just me, you, all of you. Because we're all in this together. We're all going to be here when the lights turn. And these centers of intelligence are going to, when they start to change, and they are changing, a lot of physical things are going to start to happen in the world. First of all, we don't need to get in there and fix what's broken. That's just falling away. You don't need to get in there and stop that. And, you know, I love what Wayne Dyer said. I was doing a little research. When you live on a round planet, you don't get to pick sides. You know what I mean? We're all in this together. The people that are bugging you and making wrong choices, we all of us that have decided to keep the lights on, just like Mother Earth, we got to love enough to make room for those people. And just recognize them as divine players of light and love, and they'll get there when they get there. Okay? It's not your job to help them, it's not your job to save them, but you do need to not get stuck in judging and hating. Just stay on the higher love, as Steve Wynn would put it. Anyway, so I think that there's going to be a real shifting in a lot of these things: food, transportation, education, energy, fuel. These systems are going to start to evolve as we start to reconnect with our Earth Mother, and she begins to do this lower power Earth vibration up into us. And I felt it. I felt it. I think you can feel it too. And, you know, this is why I wanted to talk about this, because quite literally we are changing in tandem with the planet. Going back to that Mother Earth analogy, she's holding a hand out for us. Like Elvis has, like, you know, there's a lot of talk about like gods being kind of absentee landlords. You know, they came, they built it, they set the top of spinning, and now they're on to the next petri dish. Who amongst us could argue for a second that Earth has been in this from day one? Like looking out for us, protecting us. I mean, we're going to do a food meditation here, and you know, everything we eat, everything we have comes from our Earth Mom. And you know, it doesn't matter how sophisticated it is, it came from raw minerals from the bosom of Mother Earth. Okay, so this is a little quote from Thich Nhat Hanh. I love it. Oops, shouldn't have said that. Sorry, I got it. Oh my God. Machine. Okay, there it is. Okay, this is a quote from Thich Nhat Hanh. I think the real miracle is not to walk on either water or thin air, but to walk on the earth. Every day we engage in a miracle which we don't even recognize. A blue sky, white clouds, green leaves, it's all a miracle. And that's from How to Walk by Thich Nhat Hanh, which is a book about conscious movement. When you put your foot on the earth, feeling the earth giving back energy to you. And, you know, okay, so there's a few tools that I wanted to talk about that I think that everyone could use to help reconnect with the earth and help themselves a little bit in their day-to-day life, and also help you spiritually. A few of these are just as simple as putting your feet in the grass. You know, if you're always wearing shoes, then the whole world feels like shoe leather. Do you know what I mean? Like, so that's one. Gardening. Who's gardening? Who has a garden? Who looks at their little plants like little babies? Like, yeah, like, oh, look at that one. It's growing. And like when that one's dying, you're like, uh-oh, I better do something. You know? And you know, Ram Dass talks about this. There's beauty and decay all going on at the same time. And it's all necessary. You want to be somewhere between hope and hopelessness at all times, you know? Getting your hands in the dirt, going for a walk in the forest. That one's great. Just unplug. You're not listening to music. You're not talking on the phone. Just like today, perfect day. Wind through trees. It's its own music right there. I mean, and it's just good at a heart level to hear that. And you know, herbal remedies, plant-based medicines, all that stuff, plant-based food. Like, there's so many ways we can nourish our body and our spirit with plants, with things directly from Mother Earth. And so now I would like to do a conscious eating meditation with people, if you don't mind. My lovely wife and assistant Jamie is going to hand out some strawberries. And everybody gets a strawberry if they wish to have a strawberry. I hope everyone gets a strawberry. There's a lot of people here.
14.
Well, you know. big in spirit. Yeah, you know. When everyone's all set, we'll do a conscious eating meditation. Can I ask for a little music when it starts going down? Thank you so much.
Strawberry fields.
Strawberry fields?
Strawberry fields.
Fields.
Strawberry fields like the Beatles.
Okay, well, that's all. That's outside my purview. Please direct all musical choices to the channel. All right. Back one, please.
Yes.
This is either going to be great or it's going to be a disaster. Okay, thanks, honey. All right, so before we take a bite of this little guy, just take a look at it. Strawberries are interesting because, like all fruits, they have everything they need to make more strawberries right there. And if you think about it, like, this might be a little gross, when you eat this and you poop it out and it lands on the ground, that's how new strawberries happen. Like, the little seeds go into the earth and make new strawberries effortlessly. And then, you know, maybe lift it up and smell it. Just enjoy the smell of the strawberry. That perfume. And get the nose involved. And then maybe taking a little bite. Just allowing it to get in the mouth. Now when you're enjoying the strawberry, look, you just think about all the loving hands, all the people, the journey that this little guy made to be here with you now. It's kind of awe-inspiring. The number of people that took part in growing this thing and making sure that this is here, it's humbling. And that's happening every time Mother Earth gives us something. You know, we have a saying around here, let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. I mean, how could we ever have a scarcity mindset when we're given absolutely everything we need? I mean, this is just such a tiny little compact miracle. Now you're taking a bite, now it's open. Yeah, maybe breathing it in. I mean, it's even more. It's even more fragrant when you breathe it. Maybe if you want to have some strawberry, you raise your hand.
This is Michigan strawberry.
I have no idea where it's from. Sure, we'll go with it. It's a Michigan strawberry.
There again.
It came from a store in Michigan. This strawberry represents all the gifts that Mother Earth continues to give us with asking nothing in return. I defy you to find a better deal than that on heaven and earth. It's going to keep happening. She's going to keep taking care of us. She hasn't given up on the kids, and she never will. I don't know about you, but that gives me a lot of hope. Stay clear of the drama. Do not give up. Everywhere we go, everywhere, like so many powerful allies have our back. And I really appreciate being able to come here and speak to you guys about this because I believe really deeply in what I'm sharing. And strawberries are really good. So, thank you so much for letting me speak.
On page 35, find our thoughts, our prayers. Let's sing together. Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers, sing our consciousness.
Thank you. That was wonderful. And fabulous strawberries. Another Gary Lynn Floyd selection, Pure Light, which is what is filling this space. Thank you. Life is in me, moving through me, beyond questions, standing strong. Power and presence is my essence, within me all along. What is there to be afraid of? Pure light is what we are made of. Life is in you. Can you feel it? Inside you around. Power and presence is your essence. When you stand on holy ground. What is there to be afraid of? Yeah, pure light is what we are made of. What is there to be afraid of? Yeah, yeah. Your light is what we are made of. Life is in me, moving through me, beyond questions, standing strong. Power and presence is my essence, been within me all along. What is there to be
your lights, your light.
Thank you, everybody. What a wonderful service. Thank you, John. That was a great message. And thank you, Winnelie and Corey, for your wonderful music. I have just a few announcements here. I wanted to let everyone know what's happening in July. We've got quite a few sound bath opportunities, sound healing opportunities with Julie Ross. She's going to be doing a live stream on July 6th at 6:30 and in person on July 13th at the office at 6:30. And then there's a special thing happening with Julie Dillon and Julie Ross. They're going to be collaborating with Healing Movements, Sound Healing together. So that should be very interesting. So please keep that in mind as something you might want to try. That's July 13th. And then we have Death Cafe coming up again, July 16th at the office. All of these will be in the e-announcements. So just watch for that, and also on Facebook. So again, beautiful service. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, virtual watchers. And let's get into our peace circle and do our closing blessing.